So recently, I've been watching Fox News here and there, especially about what they have to say about the tariffs and what they think about the tariffs and how they feel about the tariffs. And I'm really, really stunned because as the markets have been dipping, I don't know what the market's doing today, but as the markets have been dipping, they've been saying something that I'm like, wow, I agree with that. I'm right there with you. I agree with what it is you're saying. And that is shocking because I rarely ever agree with anything that they say on Fox News. It's not the news part, but like the pundit stuff, right? The talking faces who try to put a good spin on everything that is Trump and a bad spin on everything that is Democratic. Anyhow, what they're saying, they were going on the other day. What's her name? I think her name is Fox. Anyhow, she and some others were saying, money's not the most important thing. Money isn't the most important thing. I mean, Janine Pirro, is that Judge Janine? She was saying that I don't even care about my 401k right now. That's not a worry. That's not a concern. Well, if you're making $80 gazillion a year, then no, of course it's not a concern. But she's not even worried about it right now. The most important thing is Trump's agenda. And others are saying, we knew it was going to be tough, but Trump's agenda. And others are saying, money's not the most important thing. And there's been other right-wing pundits who are saying something just as similar. Money's not the most important thing. It's not the most important thing. We shouldn't be too upset by it. We shouldn't be too worried by it. It's fine. We're focusing too much on the money because the stock markets are dipping and, trillions and trillions of dollars are being just wiped out from the market. And this is, I agree with them. Money's not the most important thing. But it is really important in our current system. Can't live without it. You only say money's not the most important thing to people when they have money and they're not afraid of losing their money. You don't say money's not the most important thing to people who are struggling. You don't say that to people who are financially strapped. People who don't know if they're going to be able to buy groceries and pay for their medication next week. People don't know if they're going to be able to pay their rent or buy gas for their car, pay their insurance, pay for their doctor's appointment. You don't say it for people who are struggling that money's not the most important thing. Because we have a system. We live within a system where money has a particular value. And again, I wish it didn't. I truly wish it didn't. But it is. It does have a value. It is incredibly important to us. It's the only way. Without money, we don't survive in this world. Without money, we don't get by. Without money, we can't take care of ourselves and nobody will take care of us. There's so many, when Trump's going on about trade surplus. Well, the reason there's a huge trade surplus with so many different countries is because y'all buy a lot. Canadians do as well. Like, I'm not trying to take out, trying to ignore the current plight here in Canada. It's the same situation. We buy way too much stuff. And we want it cheap. We don't want to pay for it. We want it cheap. We want it often. We want to be able to throw it away when we're done with it. We want it now, as opposed to having to wait any kind of time for it. The only way you get rid of a trade surplus if the United States is if you convince your people to stop buying stuff, to stop buying things that in some cases they don't need. In many cases, half the stuff we buy, do we need it? Really? Do we need it? There was a study here in Canada a while back, 2 years ago. 40% of the groceries that people buy end up in a landfill, end up being composted, end up being thrown out. Bottom line, don't end up in your belly. 40% of the groceries we buy end up wasted. 40%. That tells us that 40% of the things that we're buying at the grocery store are unnecessary. They're just wants, not needs. This tariff stuff that Trump has unleashed on not only the United States, but on the world. It's an opportunity for us to learn something. It's great food for thought. Okay, it's great. It's great. It's a great catalyst for questions and for thinking. I hope and pray that we don't lose the opportunity here. I hope and pray we don't get caught up in what he's done and caught up in our reactions to it. And I hope we're able to take a moment and respond to it, where we ask ourselves, okay, what's a different course forward? What's a better course forward? What's a new way forward? I hope we're able to see this, because my greatest fear, I shouldn't say my greatest. Yeah, my greatest fear in a situation like this is that we don't learn from it, and we beg and plead for things to go back to the way they were. Back to the status quo. Give me the status quo. For the love of God, give me the status quo. It's one of the things that I think. It's one of the things that I think that we. It's one of the reasons. It's one of the thing. It's one of the things that I think uber conservatives get wrong. It's one of the things that I think really, really right-leaning, fundamentalist-leaning people fail to understand. You know, where they're talking about make us great again, where they're talking about returning to days gone by when everything was wonderful and happy and rainbows shot out of our ears, and we could ride unicorns to school uphill both ways in the snow in July. They're failing to understand. They're failing to understand. They're failing to grasp. They're failing to accept the opportunity that something great might be around the corner. In their desire to maintain to the status quo, or their desire to return to the ways of days gone by, they forget that fortune. They forget that prosperity. They forget that abundance can be had in new ways as well in the future. You know, in the psalm we read today, there's a line. It says, when the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, they were like those who dream. We were like those who dream. The Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us. Verse 4, restore our fortunes, O Lord, like the watercourses of the Negeb. Restore our fortunes, O Lord. Restore our fortunes doesn't mean return us to the past. Restore our fortunes. And what is the fortune that God desires for us? Well, I don't really have an answer for that, but I bet you it's out there. And maybe in a moment like this, we get these tariffs. This guy's doing these things. He's throwing the whole world economic system into an upheaval. Well, maybe it's a moment for us to say, wait a second, this system is what convinced me to buy things that I don't need. This system is what tells me that there's the possibility of infinite growth in a finite system. This system is what tells me that greed should look like. You know, it's this system that might be part of that might be the whole problem. This system that continuously encourages me to buy things that I don't need. The system that continuously encourages me to take on debt so that I can have what someone else has told me is the dream life. Maybe if Trump has thrown the whole thing into upheaval, maybe what we can do is maybe we can listen to Fox News, and when they say, hey, you know, money's not the most important thing. Well, let's build a world where money isn't the most important thing. Let's build an economic and political system where money isn't the most important thing. Let's build a system where retired people aren't right now looking through the want ads because their 401k has dropped through the basement. Let's build a system that takes care of everyone without having to determine their wealth or their net worth first. Okay, so Fox News, money isn't the most important thing. Great. Then let's build that system together. Right? Oh, we're going to put tariffs on this, that, and the other thing and throw the whole world into economic disorder. Fine. Then when we come out of it, let's create a system more to our liking. Let's give ourselves to a better system. Let's encourage and adopt a better system. Let's make way for the better system. Let's allow the return of our fortunes, while at the exact same time as embracing what could be, what could the possibilities, the opportunities that could be. Amen.